I am currently filming with the Arkon Mounts brand Remarkable Creators 3-in-1 bundle. It's got a whole ton of little gadgets and arms and connections to make everything fit just perfectly. It doesn't move, not as much. Here, Tracy likes to tap when she talks because she's from New Jersey. Doesn't move as much. I like it. I can still see the picture of what I'm working on. Comes with a whole bunch of mounts I haven't quite investigated yet. Pretty sure this is for the iPad. Not quite certain I'm going to be using that. Comes with great instructions. It was easy for me to put together without any help from anyone else. It also came with this really neat LED clip-on ring light, which I haven't used yet, but I intend on using. And yeah, so I just wanted to get it on and let you all know that from now on, my videos are going to be with this awesome mount. Special thanks to Sandy Allnock. She has a link or a coupon code on her videos on YouTube, and I did use her affiliate code, and I'm grateful for it. I've been eyeing it ever since she got hers set up, and so here we are. I have it. It's here. It's open, and let's create something. Hi everyone, and welcome to the third episode of Christmas in July collab, hosted by Dawn H Creates. Nothing says Christmas like 96 degrees. Let's go. Okay, for the first card, I used a stamp company I'm not sure all of you know about, but they're one of my favorite, and that's Purple Onion Designs. I used elements from one particular group, and it was called Mistletoe Farm, and you know I had to have the whole set. There's this one particular one, I used this barn, and I used this pretty pony's face. And then in this grouping of the same Mistletoe Farm, I used the joy sign, the Merry Christmas, and the gifts. And on the final stamp from Mistletoe Farms from Purple Onion Designs, I used this background stamp. Guess you know where that little horsey went. Now to bring all these stamps together, I had to use something that I'm not sure many people have used, or maybe you have, but just in case, I want to make sure that I show. This is Inkadinkado stamping mask paper. It's got adhesive on one side, and it's got white paper on the other, as you can see here. And as you can see by my example, these are the masks that I had to make. Get my hair out of the way. Ew! I had to make these stamps so that they would go in the order that I desired them to go on my final product. You can find other videos on stamp masking, I'm sure on YouTube, if you just put that in a search. And I also used this stamp set by All to New for the sentiment inside. May your days be merry and bright. Again, from All to New. And now for the card. As you can see, here's the horse that you saw in that one grouping I had in that plastic envelope, the joy sign, the Merry Christmas, and those gifts. It all looks so different when you see it in a stamped package. In fact, it can be confusing and even hard to understand how you'd even make that work, but with stamp masking, you put down the images first, you stamp the first images you want to see in the front. So I wanted the gifts, the joy sign, and Merry Christmas in the very forefront. And that's why you need the masking paper. So you would have stamped this sign, and these gifts, and make your mask out of the Inkadinkado stamping masking paper. And then you cover those stamps that you just put down, and then you lay this background of the barn. It's kind of complicated at first and takes some practice, but it turns out really good. You can see on the inside, here is the sentiment from Altenew, may your days be merry and bright, and that barn that I had showed you in that one grouping. Here's some twine that I used from Stamps of Life from Stephanie Bernard. You just put it on the inside of your card and you tie your little bow and you're off and running. I also used these fringe scissors from Stampin' Up! That I had in my stash. And I used that on the metallic cardstock by Tonic Studios to make it look kind of like tinsel or garland. I thought that was really cute. Okay, now for card number 2. I used some more tools when making card number 2. And you had to know I was going to use an embossing folder after all of the pumping up I've done about them. And they really are game changers. I used this chicken wire embossing folder from Doris. And I used a product called Inkadinkado in copper. To me this looked like a rust color. So it is rustic today after all as a theme. So I figured we got to have some rust on something. Stamp set that I used for this card was by the company The Ton, and it's called Poinsettia Banner. And here's the card. This card is rustic, but it's also more of a classy type of a Christmas card, I guess you would say, or no, not classy, but a formal Christmas card. I like it. It's very aged by that Inkadinkado. I just used my finger with the Inkadinkado and rubbed it over the embossed image, and it really gave it a great effect. I had some green twine in my stash, and I used that, and I just used colored pencils to color the image. This was actually one of the quickest cards to make. No scene building here. Now I used craft cardstock on both of these cards because to me it was more rustic to have the craft cardstock. And I haven't put the sentiment in the center of this card yet, but then again, that's a personal decision for all of us to make. And I will once I send these out. So here you have it, the second card. Now I've made a personal decision in my card making to only make 5x7 cards. So I had to learn how to make envelopes myself because I didn't have any idea where I could buy them. So I posted a link down below of a video that will teach you how to make 5x7 envelopes from simple cardstock. Not by a huge 12x12 sheet of designer paper or pattern paper, just regular 8.5x11 cardstock. And I'll continue to make these envelopes for my cards. Because these little cards, these are really the more popular card to make, these 4.5x6, 4.5x6.25, no. Well, you know, it's an A2 size card. These cards are too tiny. I'm just not satisfied by the presentation. And when you get to the store, when you go to any store and you buy a card, you don't buy a card this small. You buy a card that big. And I really wanted that presentation when I give my cards to people so that they'll understand that it's just, I gave them all I had and not just a little tiny card. Look at how small that is in comparison. So, make sure you check the description below and you'll see the video for how you can make your own 5x7 envelopes so that you're not just stuck making these teeny tiny cards, but you can make these really big cards. They make more of a statement. Can't really find any tiny cards in the store anyway. So there you have it, folks. There's my 2 cards for today. Stick around, follow the list below, and make sure that you check out everybody else's wonderful achievements and artistic designs of their cards that they made for you today. Again, the theme is rustic, and I hope you have fun watching them all, and I hope you have a blessed day. Stay cool. Bye-bye. Hello everyone. Welcome to the third Saturday in July. Hello everyone, and welcome to the third Saturday in the Christmas in July collaboration hosted by Dawn H. Creates. That's the animation for today's video. I've made 2 cards for you today. Let's get started. There's a whole lot of people that you need to watch their videos. And I gotta tell you, after watching all of them, I myself even felt a little overwhelmed. So I'm not gonna take too much of your time. I want you all to enjoy. Never mind.